No one should have to face a disaster alone. As we enter the age of disasters, what we need are networks of people and institutions moving together to co-create resilience that is distributed, peer-driven, and participatory. Because in a historic moment like today, a movement is harder to disrupt, harder to defund, and easier to grow. I came to this work after witnessing and living through Puerto Rico's relentless cycles of disaster and recovery, earthquakes, floods, and more hurricanes, all unfolding against a backdrop of political and economic turmoil. When disasters hit places like Puerto Rico, where access is limited and communication is unreliable, external organizations often struggle to direct aid, while communities must find their own way to survival and recovery. And among the countless stories of communities rising from the rubble, one stands out. In the mountainous region of Puerto Rico, I met community health workers who were neighbors, friends, and family members of the communities they served. During their daily home visits, they checked vitals, delivered medicine, and more importantly, they rebuilt the social fabric that was torn apart by disasters. And through listening, documenting, and sharing human stories, they stewarded community stories and knowledge and turned them into human stories and handmade community maps. And when disaster struck again, they were able to direct the right responses to the right places at the right time. These community health workers showed us what is possible when we turn to communities for belonging, knowledge, and mutual support. But they shouldn't have to do it alone. Like many other nonprofit and government programs, they were forced to shut down in today's climate. As we face more frequent and more severe disasters, no single organization can do it alone, while more organizations and communities around the country are facing what Puerto Rico is facing. Over the past 5 years, our team of designers, technologists, and scientists have been building a tech-enabled civic infrastructure, re+connect, together with communities in Puerto Rico. With re+connect, we reimagine resilience as a co-created civic movement by bringing individuals and institutions together into alignment and alliance via 3 pillars. We partner with organizations to co-create and sponsor resilience actions. We bring people together to do these actions with their family, friends, and neighbors in groups while strengthening the social bonds that hold them together in the face of crisis. Through these actions, we elevate people's voices by organizing and visualizing their knowledge and stories. We then translate these critical information into actionable insights that help organizations adapt to smarter programs that are grounded in lived experiences. Disasters are often too overwhelming to even think about. We help residents move from good intentions to timely actions with peer support and accountability, informed by behavioral and social sciences. And through this process, we convene a network of institutions to collaborate and coordinate across a holistic collection of community actions and knowledge in a co-op model to maximize their collective impact. In our focused 3-month pilot in Puerto Rico, hundreds of residents completed over 250 actions, and nearly half of them were taken in groups. We're beginning to see a network effect, how the work of a few community health workers who turned local knowledge and network into a lifeline, which can be amplified into a growing civic movement for resilience. And this year, alongside nonprofits, municipal governments, foundations, and long-term recovery groups, we're exploring how to bring the lessons from Puerto Rico to communities across the US. And if this speaks to you, we would like to invite you to join us to co-create and sponsor resilience actions and knowledge sharing in your communities. And with our new web platform launching in June, we will work with you to begin by mobilizing one neighborhood to take one meaningful action together and to share one story we can learn from to advance your community resilience goals. And now imagine thousands of actions stitched across neighborhoods and thousands of stories woven into a map of communities moving together growing resilience into the civic movement we need today. And this moment has just begun, and you have the power to spark what comes next. Thank you.
I'd like to start by finding out, I got a little bit confused. Is this an app that's shared? Is this you going out to different communities and trying to engage civic organizations? What exactly do you do?
So we'd like to call it a tech-enabled civic infrastructure, because imagine Airbnb, but you have both the hosts and residents and guests. So for us, we work with community-based organizations, municipal governments, and civil society groups where they have resilience goals, and they might have actions like how to find cooling centers and how to do wellness check-ins on your neighbors, how to prepare your house ready for hurricanes. And we prepare these actions that these organizations need citizens to do into the mobile and web platform where residents have access to. And then in that process, we'll be able to track the stories and information and knowledge that they share while doing these actions back to both the community themselves and also the organizations that are sponsoring these actions.
How do you think about when you, at the point that you have multiple communities on board, how do you think about how they lend their, how do they benefit each other and work together?
Yeah, so that's a really big question. That I mentioned, this co-op model, when organizations and communities come together, that we co-create norms in terms of how we share actions, how we share information and knowledge, because a lot of the times, one organization may have expertise around building spiritual resilience and the other around physical building and housing priorities, and then these different organizations can sponsor different actions that communities can benefit from. And in the meantime, that not only are they amplifying their impact in different communities they may not have access to in the past, but they're also learning from different communities across the different platforms.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.